6-5, but it wouldn't surprise me if Ian Wright turns up and wins it. Not at all.
Well, it was 6-5 when they met in the Players' Championship in July. Ian Wright coming out on top that day. It's their first meeting since then.
100.
But it's Wright who leads the head-to-head 5-4. This, though, doesn't have too much bearing
83
on a one-off quarter-final with a place in the last four and a meeting against either Joe Cullen or Mentor Sulovic at stake. It's the tournament that keeps on delivering. White getting things underway. So Michael van Gerwen, the number 1 seed, out. Michael Smith, the number 2 seed, is out as well.
100.
There was an interesting comment from Peter Wright, who said, once I get used to these new darts, he said everybody wants to look out because he feels that everybody has peaked and he hasn't.
140.
You know, that is...
It's a bold statement.
Yes, and what it is, it just proves the self-confidence he's got. However, then you have to deliver.
59, and you require 164.
Connections of both parties.
Yeah, it always seemed to make me laugh when they're sitting on the same table.
If it was a highly charged match, 96. It could spill over into the seats in front of the stage.
Yes, it could do.
$80, and you require 68.
Peter Wright had to come from 1-0 down to win his opening match against Jermaine Watt in Maynard.
52.
And I was about to say, he'll have to come from 1 down here as well, but Ian Wright leaves himself double eights with Peter Wright stranded on 179, looking to just
59.
Get some rhythm going here.
Yeah, very slow start from Peter Wright. And Ian Wright easily wrapping up the first leg with double eights. No need to panic. Well, it's only with his throw, but sometime in this game, Peter Wright's going to have to break the Ian Wright throw.
140.
We're going to get mixed up here with Wright and White, aren't we?
Wright and White. I feared this day.
$58.
And it means as well that we will have a first-time winner on the European Tour this year, I should say, with Van Gerwen gone, Robert Thornton's gone, Smith's gone, and Peter Wright is off the mark. 190 1/8s. We confidently predicted the 200 barrier would be smashed, and I think that's still on course.
Well, yes, but I don't think we're going to get near
45.
The record, which is around 229, I believe. Certainly over 220 anyway. And when you think about it, you know, we've had some superb matches from first game
25.
Friday afternoon. So you'd have thought that we would have been close to beating it.
Yeah.
And I wonder what the percentage of Peter Wright losing his first leg is after the walk-on. But double top, now double 10 to level up. Well, he's got plenty of time. I was going to say, you know, with all the prancing about he does on stage, obviously that puts the heart rate up. So it'd be interesting to see how many first legs he actually loses. Well, is that going to be a wasted 3 darts from Ian Wright?
Yeah, he lost the opening leg, as I said, against Watt in Maynard. Won the opening leg against Bunting in a 6-2 win. Bunting was just let down by poor finishing today. He scored really well. His averages were very healthy.
What an important dart this is.
98. Easy required 2.
Well, equally so for Peter Wright now. Ian Wright may be getting ready to return, but he'll be sitting that down now.
Peter Wright.
A mop of the brow for Peter Wright. It's 1 apiece. 18 dart leg. Following the 16 dart leg in the opener.
the match. Well, he certainly hasn't really found his range yet, Peter Wright. Played well in the previous leg, but he's going to have to break. So he needs to find a couple of big scores on the white throw.
55.
Yeah, 180 backed up by a 55. Ian Wright producing one of the finest
60.
displays of his career earlier this year. He beat Gary Anderson in the World Grand Prix to reach the last 8 in Dublin recently. Just out-doubled Anderson both on starting
43.
and finishing in a 3-1 win. Has had a difficult time of it in Europe this year, though, by and large. Had some shocking results early on in Europe, losing to Joey Mernon in
60.
Hildesheim. Early exits in Gibraltar and Munich. Thrashed 6-1 by William O'Connor in Munich, in fact. Finally won a match in Venray. Made the semis in Riesa, that was more like it.
59.
And got to the quarters of the World Match Play as well.
$140.
So he had a fairly productive summer after a sluggish start, and then, like I say, he had that win over Gary Anderson as well in the Grand Prix. Here in the European Grand Prix.
Well, he's just checking Peter Wright's score. Didn't even need to go for the 54. He'll go 10 or 18. He's gone the 10. He didn't really need to go to the 54, but he didn't even look at Peter Wright's score until he'd hit the treble 18. Just to cause a bit of noise.
Yeah, he took double one out before. And who knows, he might get the chance to take the double one as well.
No score. These you required 2.
And he takes it out again. I was just going to say, would he have been... okay, he's taken out the double one, but in hindsight, do you think he would have preferred a different checkout, if you know what I mean?
Well, what happens in those positions, and we see it more and more now, they're thinking, if I hit a 180, it gets the crowd on their feet, cheering and chanting, and it may just put their opponent off for 1 or 2 darts. Then the panic sets in for the 3rd.
Yeah.
And that kind of worked. It doesn't always work, but do you know what? A lot of times it will work, and it's a good ploy.
And having taken out double one in the last leg, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what he's thinking, if it's nice and quiet, he's got 3 darts at double top, he's going to take it out anyway, so I've got nothing to lose.
Yeah. The psychology of darts in evidence here in this quarter-final. Averages a shade lower than the Hybrex-Smith match.
Yes, I mean, Kim was up at 110 for the best part of that match. And then Smith was doing well and all, and then all of a sudden both players just come down and
tailed off, yeah.
And ended up around about the 95, I think. But Smith had one atrocious leg that cost him the match, really.
100. If you require 121.
So both players down to 1-2-1. Right, though, with the advantage of throwing first hit. Bully once.
96. And you require 121.
Question is now, will he be back? Well, treble 17 would have left Bull, but
38. These you
not
require
really done a
25.
lot with pressurising the 25 from Peter Wright either. So now 9 for double 8 to take a 3-1 lead for Wright.
Nudges the wire, but he gets it inside the bed, and Peter Wright leads 3-1 now. Holding on to his throw after that break in the 3rd leg.
83.
Yes, the 3 clear darts at double top from Ian Wright has really cost him, and he's got a hard game on his hands now. Because Wright, he's just starting to get his range on the treble 20.
60.
And as I say that, he misses.
$96.
Well, one more game left in the quarterfinals here. Joey Cullen will take on the local hero, Mensa Sulovic, as we see Peter Wright stick in another maximum. It'll be interesting to see how Joe copes with the slow play of Mensa. He should just get up and play his own game, but...
Easier said than done sometimes. Well, Peter Wright is down to a finish first here against the throw as well. Has showed plenty of resilience at times in European Tour events this year. Winning the last two legs against both Kim Huybrechts and Terry Jenkins in Mulheim. Had a run to the semis there. And it's on course for a run to the semis here as well.
82.
Oh, well, that's a bad dart from
154.
Peter. Those darts are very high for me, Wright. I know I was going to say that. I'm going to call them Ian and Peter from now on.
Yeah. So 20 for tops.
39, and you require 94.
Well, the aggressive route or the sensible route, which would be the 25, 19 bullseye, or will it be the treble 18? He's gone for the treble 18, now he's got to go treble 17. And he's hit the treble C now, double top, missed 3 darts at this earlier on, but hasn't done. However, it was only to hold the throw.
Sixth leg Peter to throw first. Game on.
No major advantages.